Dante's Divine Comedy, read by David Miller. A heavy thunderclap broke my deep sleep, so that I started up like one shaken awake by force. With rested eyes, I stood and looked about me, then fixed my gaze to make out where I was. I found myself upon the brink of an abyss of suffering, filled with the roar of endless woe. It was full of vapor, dark and deep. Straining mine eyes toward the bottom, I could see nothing. "Now let us descend into the blind world down there," began the poet, gone pale. "I will be the first, and you will come after." And I, noting his pallor, said, "How shall I come if you're afraid? You, who give me comfort when I falter." And he to me, "The anguish of souls below us paints my face with pity. You mistake for fear. Let us go, for the long road calls us." Thus he went first, and had me enter the first circle, girding the abyss. Here, as far as I could tell by listening, was no lamentation other than the sighs that kept the air forever trembling. These came from grief without torment, borne by vast crowds of men and women and children. My master began, "You do not ask about the souls you see. I want you to know. Before you venture further, they did not sin, though they have merit. That is not enough. For they were unbaptized, denied the gateway to the faith that you profess. And if they lived before the Christians lived, they did not worship God aright. And among these I am one. For such defects, and for no other fault, we are lost, and afflicted but in this, that without hope we live in longing." When I understood, great sadness seized my heart, for then I knew that beings of great worth were here suspended in this limbo. "Tell me, master, tell me, sir," I began, seeking assurance in the faith that conquers every doubt. "Did ever anyone, either by his own or by another's merit, go forth from here and rise to blessedness?" And he, who understood my covert speech, "I was new to this condition when I saw a mighty one descend, crowned with the sign of victory. Out of our midst he was plucked, the shade of our first parent, of Abel his son, of Noah, and of Moses, obedient in giving laws, the patriarch, Abraham, and David the king, Israel with his father and his sons, and with Rachel, for whom he served so long, as well as many others, and he made them blessed. And I would have you know, before these, no human souls were saved." We did not halt our movement as he spoke, but all the while were passing through a wood. I mean a wood of thronging spirits. We had not yet gone far from where I'd slept when I beheld a blaze of light that overcame a hemisphere of darkness, though still a good way from it, yet not so far, but I discerned an honorable company was gathered there. "Oh, you who honor art and knowledge, why are these so honored that they are set apart from the condition of the rest?" And he answered, "Their honorable fame, which echoes in your life above, gains favor in heaven, which thus advances them." Just then I heard a voice that said, "Honor to the loftiest of poets." His shade returns that had gone forth. When the voice had paused and there was silence, I saw 4 worthy shades approach, their countenances neither sad nor joyful. The good master spoke, "Take note of him who holds that sword in his hand, and comes as lord before the 3. He is Homer, sovereign poet. Next comes Horace, the satirist. Ovid is the 3rd. The last is Lucan. Since each is joined to me, in the name the one voice uttered, they do me honor, and, doing so, do well." There I saw assembled the fair school of the Lord of the loftiest song, soaring like an angel far above the rest. After they conversed a while, they turned to me with signs of greeting, and my master smiled at this. And then they showed me greater honor still, for they made me one of their company, so that I became the 6th amidst such wisdom. Thus we went onward to the light, speaking of things that here are best unsaid. We came to the foot of a noble castle, encircled 7 times by towering walls, defended round about by a fair stream. Over this stream we moved as on dry land. Through 7 gates I entered with these sages until we came to a fresh green meadow. People were there with grave, slow-moving eyes and visages of great authority. They seldom spoke, and then in gentle tones. When we withdrew over to one side, into an open space, high in the light, we could observe them all. There, before me, on the enameled green, the great spirits were revealed. In my heart I exalted what I saw. I saw Electra with many of her line, of whom I recognized Hector, Aeneas, and Caesar in arms with his falcon eyes. I saw Camilla and Penthesilea. Seated apart I saw King Latinus, and next to him Lavinia, his daughter. I saw that Brutus who drove out Tarquinius, Lucretia, Julia, Marcia, and Cornelia, and Saladin I saw, alone, apart. Then I raised my eyes a little higher. I saw the master of those who know, sitting among his philosophic kindred. Eyes trained on him all showed him honor. In front of all the rest and nearest him I saw Socrates and Plato. I saw Democritus, who ascribes the world to chance, Diogenes, Anaxagoras, and Thales, Empedocles, Heraclitus, and Zeno. I saw the skilled collector of the quantities of things, I mean Dioscorides, and I saw Orpheus and Cicero, Linus and the moral Seneca, Euclid the geometer, and Ptolemy, Hippocrates, Avicenna, Galen, and Averroes, who wrote the weighty glosses. I cannot give account of all of them, for the length of my theme so drives me on that often the telling comes short of the fact. The company of 6 falls to 2, and my wise leader brings me by another way out of the still into the trembling air, and I come to a place where nothing shines.